Welcome back. I'd like to start off this segment with a very simple question. Do you think that you're addicted to nicotine or smoking? That's a yes or no question. Now, assuming that you said yes to that question, if you weren't addicted, do you think it would be easy for you to stop? Well, it's often good to look at things from a functional point of view. I mean, if you compare smoking to a real chemical addiction, like, for example, heroin, then there's absolutely no comparison. Now, I don't know whether you've ever seen anyone on heroin, but it's really not a pretty sight. I mean, the average heroin addict, for example, if he hasn't had his regular fix, will experience some terrible withdrawal symptoms, such as sweats, shakes, heart palpitations, nausea, and sometimes even hallucinations. Now, when was the last time that you saw someone experience anything like that when they tried to stop smoking? I mean, they might get a little grumpy or irritable, but they don't experience any of the physical symptoms that someone on heroin gets, do they? And you've probably heard about people who contracted lung cancer from breathing in secondhand smoke. Now, the nicotine and all the chemicals are strong enough to kill them, but they weren't strong enough to addict them. For years, people would breathe in all that nicotine, but it doesn't make them want to smoke. So if it isn't a physical addiction, then what is it? Well, it's a habit. Now, it might sound a little trite to say it's just a habit, but it's probably one of the most powerful habits that exists among human beings. I mean, when you wake up in the morning and you have that first cigarette, you're reinforcing the habit of smoking. And then 20 times during the course of the day, you're reinforcing the habit of smoking, assuming you smoke about a pack a day. And then every time the hand goes up to the mouth, say about 10 times with each cigarette, that's about 200 times a day that you're reinforcing that habit. I mean, what else do you do 200 times a day? I mean, nothing really except breathing, right? So the point is that it's a very powerfully conditioned habit. And the only reason that you're still doing it is because an unconscious part of you is still doing it. And the only way to stop is for that part of you to choose to stop. There's a split between a part of you that wants to stop and another part that chooses to keep smoking. And so through hypnosis, we will work with the part of you that is keeping on smoking and have it choose to stop. Another way of saying that is to have the two parts of you working as a team for your total benefit versus them fighting each other for control. Now, if you look at the diagram right below, this is a rough diagram of the structure of the self. And what it shows is that we have a split between a conscious part of us, and when it comes to smoking, a conscious part of you that wants to quit, and an unconscious part that is doing the smoking. The conscious part of the self is the part of us that we're generally aware of in our everyday life. We're aware of certain thoughts, feelings, decisions, things that we need to do for the day, plans that we make, and so on. It's a part of us that we'd love to believe is in control. It's the part of you that is listening to this video because it's the part that is wanting to stop smoking. I mean, after all, why else would you be searching for a way to stop smoking? It's the part of you that is making a conscious decision to quit smoking. Now, there's another part of the self, another part of yourself, that we're mostly unconscious of, and yet we can be aware of certain unwanted behaviors. It's the part of your total self that is doing the smoking. It's an undesirable part, yet it is a part that is generating the behavior of smoking. If you were totally aware of and in charge of this part, you probably wouldn't be at this website and watching this video. You would simply exercise your choice to stop smoking. But as we mentioned earlier, this part of you has a life of its own, and there's also something motivating this part that's keeping on smoking. I mean, this is the part that's in control of your smoking. So what we're doing in hypnosis is getting this part of you to make the decision to stop smoking. And when that part makes that decision, then it becomes easy to quit smoking. But it's also important to realize that this part of you that keeps on smoking has some kind of investment or payoff in keeping on smoking. There is something that you gain by smoking. There is something that smoking does for you. And so it will be important to identify that gain, because the gain might not really be a gain at all. It's only a perceived gain. In fact, it might actually be detrimental to you. Now, this part of you also perceives itself as a smoker. This part of you says, in effect, well, I'm a smoker. That is my identity. And so we will also work with this part to change its identity from a smoker to a non-smoker. I mean, when you begin to view your whole self as a non-smoker, then you won't do the kinds of things that fulfill that identity, namely smoking. Everything you do arises out of an image that you hold of yourself. If you believe you are something, then you will do the kinds of things that fulfill that belief. So when you change your self-image from I am a smoker to I am a non-smoker, then the change in behavior will be easy. So try this on for size. Try it on kind of like you would try on a shirt. Try saying the words to yourself right now. I am a non-smoker. And just notice what that feels like.